you're feeling stuck right now in regards to money, or maybe it's about relationships or your career, you put a lot of effort, you try to use these visualizations or affirmations to create a change in your life, and in the end, it seems for nothing, for a waste, that nothing actually changes. So what is really creating your reality? And most importantly, how can you start to change it? Well, in this video, we're going to break that down so you can understand why it's been happening and start to tap into the power that you hold. Hey guys, my name is Abby, and I help you to consciously create your life through practical spirituality. We are going to be breaking down some big ideas into a very nice and neat, digestible video so that you can start tapping into your power right now and creating the reality that you want to experience. Before we get into that, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one to look and see what the dynamics are for you personally and start to unwrap from them to create the reality you want, I am offering a donation-based payment system, meaning that we can work together one-on-one. There's a $30 minimum payment. If you want to give more than that and donate to the channel, you can do so in the tip option. Either way, we'll work together and look at the specifics in your life to start creating the life you want to live. If you're interested in that resonates, go ahead and click that link below. It's going to give you all the information. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about what other people have experienced who have worked with me, head to the community tab and you can see some of those testimonials in there. So let's get back to the video. All right, here we are. And again, it is close to Christmas time, so I have chosen the delightful green magic marker. It's a dry erase pen. So again, if you've watched other videos, you know not only do I love my whiteboard, but I also love putting stickies. So we got 4 things here that by the end of this, you're going to understand how your reality is actually being created. What's really going on here? So this is representing you. This line here is basically representing your reality, or that experience, the tangible world. Now, just outside here, there's all the potential things that could exist in your life. That this is according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and really according to quantum physics, that every possible version of you exists right now. And it's not other versions of you, you're you, but it's opportunities and versions of you and situations in your outside world that you could experience. Okay, and you're like, well, how do I experience those things? We're going to get into it. But it's important that you understand just this very exquisite diagram. So again, this is you with love. This is you with that abundance financially. This is brokenhearted, abandonment. And this is just a lack, a lot of financial stress or not good enough, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do first is you want to understand they all exist right now. The thing that is preventing you from experiencing them is not a prevention, it's just a selection. So potentially you are experiencing that abandonment. I've had that a lot of my life, most of my life, that fear of abandonment, that I got rejected a lot, and maybe lack financially. It has to do with, oh boy, we got some superpower today. It has to do with, where is it lining up from? It's lining up from these unconscious beliefs. So you've got that and that's going to line up. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of it. So where are these coming from? Well, first, it's going to be your perception. So what's really creating your reality is your perception. And what the hell is perception? Basically, it comes from an experience. Most likely this is from childhood. So potentially when you're growing up, you see your parents, your caregivers struggling financially. Maybe they say, oh, rich people get this, we don't, or money is bad, or we struggle, we never have enough money. So out of all the potentials of experiences you could have, that experience shapes your awareness of life. It shapes it down and whittles it essentially to this. Oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I don't have money in my life. Again, as a kid, realize you are taking notes. How do I human? Oh, okay, we lack. We don't have enough money. Oh, we get abandoned. That's what connections mean. Connections mean that I have to leave myself, or I can't be me, or have needs. A multitude of different things. From the last trimester of your biological mother to 7 years old is when that's being formed. That's where your perception was most significantly shaped. That's not the truth of all reality, because all this still exists. But if all the possibilities were whittled down or shaped to, I don't get money or I get abandoned, it's important to understand your experience and what you were exposed to in your early on experience with regards to money, with regards to emotional connection. So the first major thing of what's really creating your reality is your perception. And starting to understand, oh, okay, so perception, you can see the little arrow there. Perception, again, is shaped awareness, and that creates subconscious beliefs. So you have a belief, something that you basically give permission to be true for you. You have faith in this belief that this is how it is. And it's rock solid in your perspective because it feels true, because you look outside of you and you're like, oh yeah, that's true, and then it fortifies your perception and it fortifies your belief. But it's not absolutely true because all of these other things exist. But when you have this belief in your unconscious system, your program, oh, we don't have money and we get abandoned. Okay, so you look through the lens and you resonate. And another way you can think of resonating vibrationally or your energy is that your outside world, those components are going to agree with that. So, okay, yep, you're going to find people and circumstances that agree you don't get the money, that are going to agree that you are abandoned. Okay, again, this is what's lining up with those things because of your perception from your experiences, the way you saw yourself, the meaning you gave yourself, the story you created. Those are all the same thing. Whatever way resonates best for you right now on how to understand. You told yourself a story, you created a meaning, you created what you could get potentially. All I can get is abandonment, or all I can get is lack, okay? So again, the perception is going to shape your subconscious beliefs. It's going to create them. And then through your subconscious beliefs, your RAS, your reticular activating system. So literally, that is, bloop. I always want to make them wear glasses, but here we are. Your RAS is your reticular activating system, essentially what you program. You have 40 to 50 million bits of information coming in and you're able to pick up on. Obviously, that's too much information for you to function from. So you take in about 40 bits. The 40 bits align with the perceptions and how you see yourself. Essentially, they're the glasses you see through. Okay, so the subconscious beliefs are majorly impacting what you actually are able to perceive of. So you're only able to perceive of the things that go in line with your unconscious beliefs. This is getting a little bit crazy here. We're gonna narrow this down a bit and get rid of those earlier lines. So again, we're stepping up now. Because of your unconscious beliefs, what you're actually able to perceive of, literally see in the world, are these, because they align with that. This is available to you, but you cannot see it because your brain is filtering it out because it doesn't align with who you think you are. It doesn't agree with you. If you got somebody to come into your life and love you unconditionally, it wouldn't feel right because you don't feel good enough. You feel like you're going to be abandoned. So there's a disconnect there. You can change that, which we're going to get into later, but it's important to understand that if you've been feeling a lot of lack, if you've been experiencing financial distress, if you've been experiencing a lot of abandonment, look and see what your emotional supply was early on, specifically money and emotional relationships. What was your connection to your emotional needs being met? If you got ignored or you got overlooked, look and see what your job situation is. Look and see how money treats you. If it's recreating the parental dynamic that you have to work really, really, really hard and you're not going to quite get what you need, that dynamic could be very similar to how you grew up. So the more you can tap into the dynamics of this, the more you can say, holy shit, I have been creating my reality all along, but I didn't realize where I was creating it from, which is those early on perceptions. So again, we've got an experiencing growing up. It's creating subconscious beliefs, which is affecting your RAS, which you're actually be able to perceive of. Now, the other interesting thing, I hope you're ready. The other interesting thing to take into consideration is quantum physics. Easy topic, right? Just no big deal. But quantum physics has a very old experiment that's been replicated. It's called the double slit experiment. Basically, what the double slit found is everything right now, right? All of these are waves. We can't see them, but they exist. They're waves of potential. So in this experiment, they sent out these different electrons and they all had a potential to land in different places. However, when an observer, not even a human, but an observer was watching, the potentials started behaving differently and started being collapsed. So if they were observed, the potential got collapsed into 3D, right? So 3D, reality, physical. What does that mean for you? If you are observing abandonment, that version of yourself, if you're observing you don't get what you need or no one's there for you, if you're observing financial lack, that there's never enough, you will collapse that potential in the quantum field into your 3D life. Again, you're perceiving it, so you're looking for it. You don't want it, but you're perceiving of it, and you think that that's all that exists because it's recreating. Again, you've got the perception, it fortifies a belief, it creates another experience, okay? So these are all what is really creating your reality. And what's the commonality of it? You. It was all from a perception of yourself. So it's going to continue unless you start to understand that the perception you had originally, you can change. You can use your adult mind to go back and say, holy shit, I was actually never not good enough. I was actually always worthy. I thought that I wasn't worthy because the people around me weren't showing me that. They lacked the skills. Nobody to blame, no one a bad person. But that emotional, inadequate environment led me to believe that I was inadequate. But that was never true. And the people meant the best for me, and they were doing the best they could, and no one taught them. So what I need to see here is I need to re-reason. I need to give myself a new meaning, a new value. See that experience from a different set of eyes, the eyes you have right now. If you have a child in your life, your actual child, if there's a niece, if there's your friend has a child, think about the innocence of that child. Think about how much goodness it is. And I want you to tap into that when you think about earlier on you and how that version of you, that time period needs your attention now. The more you can help that you to see yourself in a different way, it will start to basically erase all these things. And you'll be able to start perceiving as you update these beliefs that, hey, maybe actually I always was worthy of love and connection. And when I give myself that attention, when I start saying yes to me and my needs, I start creating this connection. And this connection in me is giving me the ability to perceive of the connection, the law of attraction, through the law of assumption, start to perceive of it in the outside world. It's going to collapse the potential and bring it into the 3D world, into a particle. Dr. Joe talks about this all the time, about collapsing the potential wave into a particle. Where are you observing? Are you allowing your outside world to tell you what to perceive of? Or are you saying, I am the cause, I am going to observe that abundance of love and abundance of money, and I don't care what the outside world comes in. It's going to help me re-reason and upgrade my beliefs so that they are in alignment and I can receive that which I am valuable, that which I am worth. And only when I perceive of my own worth will I be able to then see it in the outside world. Not because that's proving my worth, but because I know my worth and then I can see it in the outside world. I am causing the effect. I am creating my reality. What's really creating a reality is your perceptions, which are feeding and creating your subconscious beliefs. Then it's edited through your RAS, and that's what you're observing and collapsing that potential into your 3D world. The more you start being aware of what the perception you have of yourself, the more you start to expand out and bring that light of awareness into your life right now, the more you'll start tapping into the potential. This is all changeable, malleable. It can shift and move. When you bring your conscious awareness into the present moment, you get to have a new choice. And those choices over time compound and will shift your life. You are worth it and you deserve it. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, click that like below. If you haven't done so already, click subscribe, get over here, join this community. And if you really like this video, this one I picked, it's going to help you to uncover some of these subconscious beliefs and give you a little bit more tools and understanding on how to do it. I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.